Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch. We're in the second week of December 6th until the 10th, Monday to Friday, retail, low print, imports, but no community spotlight this week because I've got 3 videos waiting for me in my video editing software that I need to get done kind of sharpish, so I hope you can understand about that. But remember, 100,000 subscribers, when we get there, we're going to give away a Nintendo Switch OLED model to one of you, so subscribe. Now the Community Game of the Year nominations are in, and now it's time for the final vote. I have put a link in the description for you to vote for the games that were nominated. You have 1 week to get your votes in, and in a couple of weeks I will edit a video together to tell you your games of the year. If your choice isn't there, then 1, it's your fault for not nominating it, and 2, if you did, it probably did not fit into the rules. I had to be a little bit harsh. I did not want Knights of the Old Republic getting Game of the Year 2021, even though it deserves it. Monopoly and Monopoly Madness is getting a release this week. This is a duology of Monopoly. Say that 5 times when drunk. This is releasing worldwide, but I do know if you're in the UK, it's only available on Amazon. So yeah, a double pack of perhaps the most dull board game in existence. And the Madness edition, which I genuinely 100% cannot be bothered to check what is so crazy and mad about this one. Can't be bothered, sorry. And also, Monopoly Madness is getting its very own code in a box bullshit. Who cares though? Hentai vs. Evil is the trash we didn't need, but the trash the human race deserves. Yes, we're back again with a fun box media special spouting out the games Play Asia rejected from East Asia Soft. If you need some absolute drivel masquerading as a third-person shooter, then look no further than Hentai vs. Evil. This will look fantastic in the pile of shame alongside waifu-uncovered block knockers and perky little things. This is pretty much a UK exclusive, as apparently only we lack the dignity to publish it physically. To all those randy devils around the world, if you want to import this, then I will pop import links below, but please don't blame me if your partner demands a divorce. And our executive producers, Cartoon Soren and God of Resin, have chosen this as their pick of the week. And I've sent them some phone numbers for recommended counselors. Gang Beasts is a funky looking physics brawler, a bit of wacky fun with friends, which seems perfect for a Christmas party. Don't expect to see this at Evo, but perhaps in your front room with your gran as you throw her off a train. Her character, not your actual nan, that would be elderly abuse. But yeah, don't expect to have fun alone, you really need friends or family to beat the crap out of. Space Invaders Forever Special Edition is basically Space Invaders Forever, but now with some bonus goodies. Maybe a little too late, but hey, still the best bunch of games in terms of what we have in this collection here. And our executive producers Jonathan Rumor and JCrowd7776, they can recommend it as it's their pick of the week. Crown Trick should be releasing this week. This is a highly regarded, beautifully animated roguelike RPG adventure. It has turn-based combat where you can take your time to make your decisions. If you F up, it's likely your fault. There is also a familiar mechanic which is giving me massive vibes of Azure Dreams, which I think that means I am legally obliged to pick this up. There's a decent amount of content and solid gameplay that will make this a great addition to anyone's collection. And our executive producer Vey has chosen this as his pick of the week. Speaking of tricks, it's time for an ad break. Please don't be tricked by their marketing BS. Alright, the Low Prince, the Procession to Cavalry is Red Art's latest release. Yeah, they are pumping them out recently. They've got to pay for that Christmas bonus somehow. But yeah, this is an incredibly unique game. There is literally nothing quite like it. It is a point-and-click style game if it was made by Monty Python. And yes, I know you've all headed to Red Art Games immediately when I said that. This looks genuinely brilliant, full of laugh-out-loud humor as you explore Renaissance paintings and causing mischief. I am sold. The kind of big problem is that it's only 3 hours long. I think it's made by only one person who's, got bills to pay, so I kind of understand, but I could easily be more happy if this was triple the length. 9 hours, 10 hours. That's what I would like from a point-and-click adventure game. Never mind. Anyways, you can pre-order this right now at redartgames.com and you can get 10% off with the code SWATCH10. Yes, the code does work. Some of you said it didn't last week. That's because they disabled it if the website has a sale going on. They had one for Black Friday or whatever, but it is back now again working. And our executive producers, Mental Traveler, Michael Del Polito, Brent McLean, they've chosen this as their pick of the week. Caveblazers is Super Rare's latest game, their last one for the year. This is an action platformer roguelike. It's basically Spelunky with better combat, but not quite as legendary overall. Here we have some retro style graphics as you explore a newly discovered cave that holds mysterious powers. Super Rare Games will have 4,000 units available on Thursday, so be sure to be there in case you miss it. Not sure this will sell out super fast, but don't hang around if you're on the fence. A decent enough roguelike for your collection. The First Tree is a 2-hour walking sim as you play as a fox exploring the landscape, massacring chickens, and getting chased by a farmer. Some of that is not true. This is actually not the only narrative-driven game starring a canid this week. I know many people have confused this game with another game that came out last year, Spirit of the North. Apparently this one is an emotional ride and may bring you to the verge of tears, which is what I always enjoy while playing video games. This is being released by Strictly Limited Games in Europe. There is a standard edition and a collector's edition you can pre-order right now. The Red Lantern is the second canid-led game this week. This is being released by Limited Run Games. Juan reviewed this for us, and I remember him being kind of apathetic towards it. He could see its merits in the storytelling, but overall not particularly engaging, and he actually gave it one of the highest scores for this release. So yeah, its heart was in the right place, but it turned out to be pretty mediocre in the end, at least according to reviews, and you can order this from Limited Run Games right now. And our executive producers Parsnip Coffee and Thorn Metal Luna have chosen this as their pick of the week. Infernax is the second game in this episode from Limited Run Games. It's worth noting that this is getting a retail release in Europe, but anyways, this is a game that is not even out yet, so there is some trust you gotta put in for this pre-order. It looks decent enough to be fair, has a good developer and publisher behind it. This looks to be going for the classic Castlevania style, which I think will excite a lot of people. The trailer doesn't give a whole lot away, but the level design looks a bit flat in terms of the bits that I've seen. You know, a few platforms here and there wouldn't go amiss, guys. But yeah, it's also leaning on the you're gonna die a million times kind of vibe, which, you know, was cool like 5-10 years ago, but personally, I'm kind of tired of that. I'm over it. I just like a well-balanced game, really. There is no game. Wrong Dimension is Limited Run's third game in this episode. This is a highly rated release over on Steam. This is a game that heavily relies on humor and misdirection that even reading the game's description seems like a minefield. Those Steam reviews, forget it. If you just want to know what this is, just go ahead and play it. Leave your expectations at the door and let the game take you on an adventure you didn't think you needed, and you probably didn't need it. This is available to pre-order on December 10th, and our executive producer, Government Fat Cat, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Crysis 3 is the fourth and hopefully final limited run release for this episode. I mean, who says they're bad for the industry? Anyways, this is the last part of the trilogy they hijacked from the general release, and no, I don't have a basis for that. I just can't trust them as far as I can throw them, and I can't throw them very far. So much BS, it's hard to tell what's real and not. Anyways, what is there to say? It's Crysis 3, exclusive to limited run. Why is this a distribution release again? What is the difference exactly? Seems like there's no difference anymore. Grab it if you want it. Our executive producer Robotech has chosen this as his pick of the week. Loop Hero is a game I almost missed because once again Special Reserve announced it so early, so much so I didn't even give our executive producers a chance to pick it as their recommendations. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, this is a highly anticipated title on the Switch, another tactical roguelike. I have to say the visuals rather put me off, but those who have played it and reviewed it very, very positively. If you're looking for gameplay that's simple on the surface but deceptively deep, then you'll probably want to pre-order this at Special Reserves on December 9th. Alright, time for another ad break. You're obviously going to get asked if you had an accident at work and it wasn't your fault, but let's face it, it probably was your fault. Stop being clumsy, just look where you're walking. But hey, if you want to get that little bit of moolah from your company, then, you know, all the power to you. Alright, the imports. Remember guys, if anything takes your fancy and you'd like to import it for yourself, then consider using the links below in the description and the pinned comment. If you use those links, then it also massively helps support the Let's Get Physical series ever so much. You guys are wonderful, and it would not be where it is today without you. It really would not continue in this capacity. So thank you ever so much for using our links. Plus, in return, you can get a very nice 5% off any physical item from PlayAsia if you use the coupon code SwitchWatchTV while checking out. That's all one word, SwitchWatchTV, for 5% off any physical item. But first, I do need to give an update about Record of Lodoss War. This is coming out next week in Japan, but there's been some developments that I want to tell you about. If you remember last week, I told you the Play Asia pre-orders would be getting the soundtrack CD and art book. Well, after some people got emails saying that the pre-order bonus could not be fulfilled, I talked with one of the boss dudes at Play Asia, and he said basically they had more pre-orders than anticipated, so they won't be able to include the bonuses on all pre-orders. If you pre-ordered on or after November 30th, you won't likely get the pre-order goodies. This is the exact reason why they never ever mention it in the description of the listing, because yeah, sometimes you get CDs, sometimes you get mouse pads and other little bonus goodies, but they don't mention it because they can't always fulfill it. And when people expect something and they don't get it, people get angry. They do get angry. Video game collectors do get angry about this kind of stuff, and I've had it directed at me on more than, a couple of occasions. It is kind of my fault for saying this stuff, but I do remember the boss dude saying it in Play Asia's Discord that they did have enough for pre-orders. I guess they sold way more than they thought, so I took their word for it and probably unwisely passed that message on to you guys. So if the pre-order bonuses are the most important thing for you, then I would strongly advise you switch your order to Red Art Games. They definitely give those bonuses until January 1st, and if they don't, you can be angry at them, not me. That is your warning, guys. That is your warning. I'll warn you again next week. But if you don't get your CD and you don't get your little booklet, don't be angry at me. And I promise to never mention pre-order bonuses ever again. Battle Cats Unite is getting its Asian English release this week. This is a funky looking game that's so absurd it's hard to put into words. This is a humor-filled war game as you use resources to buy units and then send them into battle in a side-on view. It's basically Command and Conquer having a baby with Fire Emblem or something, I don't know, sticking some elongated cats, and this is what you get. This is what you get. This is also full of some mini games, and I would love to get my hands on this for review if possible, but I doubt it. It seems like the publisher will not reply to me, which is not unusual for Japanese and Asian publishers. Anyways, just remember, Japan got this game a long time back, which did not have English. This new Asian version does. The link below is for the one you definitely want. Alba Wildlife Adventure is a cute little exploration game about a young girl on a Mediterranean island who needs to help save it. This open world mini adventure has you exploring and cataloguing the wildlife in an adorable way. It's only a short game and was originally made for mobiles, but that can't take away the heart that it has. It's a bit like Pokemon Snap, but in the real world. This is only releasing physically in Japan. There has been no word of a Western physical, but the Japanese physical does have English, so it's a cute little import exclusive at the minute. And our executive producer Boombox chosen this as his pick of the week. Demon Gaze Extra is releasing physically in Asia this week. Now, I know a lot of people are excited about this one because the Play Asia listing says English, but hold on. Wait a moment, because the Play Asia listing does say English, but I talked with the publisher. I talked with them, and they told me, I'll show you a picture of the email right now. They told me the Asian physical release does not have English. It does not have English. I advise Play Asia to double check, so hopefully they can properly confirm. Either way, apparently according to the PR, there's going to be a Western physical coming at some point in the future. Hopefully not limited run though. I will update you on any developments. I would strongly advise waiting. We need someone to be like the guinea pigs here to find out for sure. It's weird because the Hong Kong eShop has two versions to buy. It has a Chinese version and an English version. I'm guessing the physical is going to be the Chinese version. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Either way, our executive producers are excited about this one for when it gets its English release. Jack Severus and Issa have chosen this as their pick of the week. But please wait for confirmation, because I am 90% sure that if you buy this, you will be wasting your money, I think. I'll let you know next week if somebody can tell me. Valis, the Phantasm Soldier collection is releasing in Japan this week. Obviously, I brought this release up before about how Limited Run boasted about having exclusive English localization for the physical. But yeah, this Japanese version does not have English, but I guess it's not massively important. Here you get 3 PC Engine action platformers that were kind of ahead of their time in terms of the story presentation. The PC Engine versions are also the best versions out there. The Famicom release was laughed at, but these are genuinely decent games if you want some side-scrolling action in your life. A lot of fun from what I've been playing, and I've not really lamented the lack of English. Limited Run will be doing pre-orders early next year, and our executive producer Elisa doesn't care because this Japanese version is her pick of the week. Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX is getting a physical release in Japan. Sadly, it does not have English, only Japanese, but you do get some cool goodies in here like a soundtrack CD. I do have a review of this coming on Wednesday, but that's just for the English version, which does not have a physical release, sadly. And that's if I can edit it together in time. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that Asia will come to the rescue at a later date. We'll have to see about that. Either way, I'd appreciate it if you can be there on Wednesday to watch the review of it. Again, it's one of the bigger releases, which means most certainly will not be worth the effort for how we get drowned out by other videos. But hey, whatever, I like monster raising simulators. YouTubers Live 2 is getting an English release in Japan this week. I know Europe also has plans to get this physically at some time next year, but no idea about North America. Hopefully, you guys have the power to say no to this absolute drivel. Also, a few belated or updated releases in Japan. Here they are on your screen now. Now, there's no community spotlight this week, but before I go, I do want to show off a very recent game that arrived thanks to the folks at Serenity Forge. Thank you for sending me Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. I've been reading this with whatever little free time I have. I even read some of it while in the bath the other day, and I know that's a lovely image you now have in your head. It's a really, really special piece. It starts off like a run-of-the-mill slice of life visual novel about cute girls in a poetry club, but then it slowly twists and turns, and I really don't want to spoil anything, but needless to say, it's essential if you're into visual novels. We give it a high rating in our mega visual novel list for a reason. Really great characters and artwork. This physical package from Serenity Forge also comes with some nice little goodies inside. You get some stickers, a download code for the soundtrack, a business card, a club member card, card standees of the characters, and even one of the poems which is on theme for the game. A highly, highly recommended visual novel. I know a lot of you own this already, and rightly so. If you don't, give it a try. You may wonder why it's so wholesome and twee in the first few hours, but it is worth it, I promise. Thanks to Serenity Forge for sending this to me. Be sure to check out some of their other awesome products. Alright, no community spotlight this week. Please don't send me any more pictures because I have enough for next week already. Hold off and then group your new stuff together the week after. Sorry, as always, but my brain has learned to tell me, Jordan, don't be an idiot. You will regret doing this in the future because I've got a lot of stuff going on right now, okay? So I hope you understand. Thanks for watching this episode of New Physical. Special thanks to our executive producers Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brett McLean, Jonathan Rumo, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, J Cross 7776, Elissa, Punky Dooster, Michael Del Polito, Cartoon Soren, Jack Severus, Robotech, Z, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Government Fat Cat, Issa, Vey, and Mental Traveler. Thank you ever so much for your support. Plus you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, you are an absolute bona fide legend. Give me a high five in the comments so I know who you are. And please watch some of our other stuff. On Tuesday, I have a review of Valis. On Wednesday, I have a review of Monster Rancher. And check out some of our other stuff. On Saturday, we have a JRPG list, the top 10 ever on the Switch. And also bargains. We'll see you guys over there. Have a good one.